Dionne, tell us a little bit about your pies and your pound cake you made for your wonderful event this weekend.
Oh my gosh. So I had a cousin's retreat in Nashville. It was all my girl cousins. And so, of course, I had to make dessert. And I made a lemon pound cake with cream cheese icing. It was like a lemon cream cheese icing.
Mm.
Then I made sweet potato pies. Then I made an apple crisp, and then I actually made cutouts. But my sister, okay, technically my sister made the cutouts, technically.
But you made the
But
dough, right?
everything turned out.
Oh,
Yeah, she made it. This time she made it. This time she did it and she had it ready. So all I had to do was like roll them out, cut them out, and bake them and stuff like that. Because she was doing her prep work before we got there.
yes, yes.
How about
Well,
that?
that is wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tamlin Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday, where we share about treats, business, and life every Tuesday on YouTube at 12 noon. Guess what? We have a special guest today, Dionne from Dionne Carol Bakes. She is a friend of our show, and we can't wait for you to hear exactly what she wants to say about how to prep for your event. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So I am Tamala. I am owner of Torlitas for that sweet and crunchy taste. Torlitas is a dessert company located right here in the state of Ohio, where I specialize in salty, sweet treats. If you want to know more about me and my business, go to at Torlitas on Instagram at T as in Tuesday, Orlitas.
I am Taylor, owner of Taylor's Kitchen, located right here in Albion, Michigan, where we make custom treats for your special occasions. I can be found on all social media platforms at Sweet Spirit Treats.
Excellent, excellent. If you haven't already, please go to our Facebook page and join our community over there where we share about all things about sweets, business, and life. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dionne Wright. She is a home baker, she is a mom, and she is my bestie. Other than that, I'm going to let her take it away. Introduce yourself, Dee.
Oh, hi, bestie.
Hey.
Hi, Taylor.
Hello.
Hi, I am Dionne, and I am the owner of Dionne Carol Bakes. And I'll just do my social media. I only have one, which is Dionne Carol Bakes. And I am Pamela's bestie since seventh grade. So I appreciate you ladies having me on today. So I'll put it back in your hands.
All right, good, good. Thank you for that. And thank you for being our guest today. And you've been on before. And you've always just hit it out the box. And we have so many views from your beautiful face and all the knowledge that you drop. So we're looking for more of your audience to come over and check us out as well. So let's get down to it, okay? What we're here today, and what I notice about my best friend Dionne is that she is a person that is always on time. Okay, I'll say always on time, mostly. Let me tell you what I know. This is what I know. Dionne is the type of person that if you have to be there at 5 o'clock, I'm normally running late. Dionne will look like she's been there since about 3:30, and everybody else is running in the door like like they're on fire, okay? But what I wanted Dionne to share with all of our viewers today is how she really preps for her big events. And she does it so well. She has it very much calculated, always giving her props for that. And I think that she has something really special she can share with all of us. And she does naturally. And she gets ready, she's there, she's set up, she has her ingredients, and she's ready to greet guests as they come in the door for her events. So I'm going to tag team with Taylor. Her and I are going to share the spotlight, so to speak, as we ask Dionne questions. But it's just going to be a free talk. It's open, and whatever comes our way, we'll be able to make something out of it. So no more from me. Dionne, I said no more for me, but I'm gonna
Hey,
talk anyway. Dionne, tell
right.
us a little bit about how you got started in baking.
Oh my God, how I got started in baking. So therefore, I would have to go all the way back. So I actually started baking when I was a young girl. And I used to bake, actually, I talked about this over the weekend with my cousin. I used to bake peanut butter cookies with my cousin. Okay. So that was actually the first taste of baking. Then fast forward, I don't want to drag it down, but I was sad. I was going through, you know, and it was the holiday. And what do you do for the holiday? You bake, you cook, you do all the things, right? And so I wanted to bake a pound cake. And so I baked a pound cake. And listen, when I say it turned out good, I was like, hot dog. Oh, it turned out so good. So I was like, well, let me see if I can do it again. Because you know how sometimes you do things and it's just sheer luck. But if you try and do it again, it doesn't go well. So I did it again. It went well. And so you were like, okay, D, come on, we got something here. Let's try and see what else you can do. So then I had I just started baking everything. And God has blessed my hands, right? And so I started creating my business, Dionne Carol Bakes. And it actually helped me go through. It was like my therapy because for me, it was a time for me to be a little alone with my thoughts and, working through the process of how my life was changing and transitioning. But even though there was sadness, there was joy that came out of my product because people loved it. So what they say, make lemons out of lemonade, make lemonade out of lemons. So it was sort of like that. So that's how it all got started. And now it's just been rolling.
That's awesome. Awesome, awesome testimony.
For sure, a testimony.
It's
Absolutely.
definitely a testimony. Tell us your top three items that you make, the customer favorites.
So the first customer favorite is absolutely my apple crisp. And I've done the apple crisp in probably about three different ways. So the first one is just the traditional apple crisp, and it is the way that I was taught to make it from my aunt down to my sister, and then she taught me. That's the traditional way. So then I took it and I started making shooters. And I would take the apple crisp and I would make homemade whipped cream, and then I would do like a caramel drizzle. Just
Chef's
all the
kiss.
things. Okay. It's just amazing. So then I decided because I am a traditional baker, so which means I make a lot of pound cakes, right? So I took the apples from the apple crisp and I married it with a pound cake. I don't even know if I have a name for this pound cake, but it is amazing. It's a beautiful cake. It's moist, it's flavorful, and it just gives you that taste of fall, and it's just a beautiful cake. The other thing I think is my chocolate cake. I think people really enjoy the decadence of the chocolate cake, which is moist and just a lot of flavor, and it's just a really good cake. I think the third one would be my lemon blueberry. That was probably one of the first ones I started baking also. A lemon blueberry because, of course, it's fresh, it's bright, and it's actually a little different, you know? It's a little different. But either you like it or you don't. But it's a really, really good cake. So I would say lemon blueberry, chocolate cake, and apple crisp would be my top three.
And they're all delicious. I've had too many servings of them. So you mentioned something that we probably didn't say before. Tell us a little bit about the traditional baker that you are. So you're not doing all this fondant, all these
No,
fans, and all these
absolutely not.
figurines and
Don't
soft
don't ask me.
cooker and all this other kind of jazz.
First of all, I don't know how. First of all, second of all, I just don't know if I just don't know if I have the patience for it. To me, it's so detailed, and it's artistry, right? I think every treat maker is an artist, right? We are artists. We may not think of it that way, but we are artists. And for me, that's not where I'm comfortable. Could I probably do it if I put my mind to it? I probably could, but it's just not my interest. I don't want to do fondant, you know. Um, I don't know how to do the little figurines, and I think they're beautiful. I do, but you're getting a cake topper from me, okay?
And it always works. You know what, Dionne, she does really good work. You know, she has yeah, well, her family is an extended family. She does really nice birthday cakes for them, and she always knocks it
Yeah,
out of the park. But I understand a traditional baker, that means you're going to get something
yeah.
homemade. You're going to get it from
Homemade.
scratch. You're going to get it from what mom and grandma and great grandma and Nana and them used to make.
Yes.
Okay. And I think this is
And
what's
I
the skill with
love,
Dionne.
yeah. And I love, thank you for bringing me back to center. You know, being a traditional baker, what it says to me, you're right. It says home, it says gathering, you know, for me. And that is really the way that I am naturally. I want everybody to come over. I want you to come over, sit on my couch and get a blanket and put your feet up. I want you to come over. Ask Tammy. She has me do it. I'm going to serve you. Okay. I'm going to serve you. Do I have anything in my freezer? I probably do. Can I pull out a cake and let it come to room temperature so you can eat it? I probably do have that. And that's what I love about being a traditional baker because it does make you think of home. It thinks you think about togetherness, right? It just brings you back to that home front. And that is what I am all about. I love company. Come on over
I
and
can't
let's have a
wait to
treat.
come to your sit on your porch and have a cup of tea or some lemonade and a slice of cake or
Or a
something like that.
cocktail.
Or a
Hmm.
cocktail even.
I don't
So
know if
I
y'all, I
can't
don't know if
wait.
y'all drink, but yeah. No, y'all drink. Okay.
So yeah, let's get right to what we came here for. You got to tell
Okay.
us how you prepare for your big events from
Oh yeah.
how far do you set out your do you plan out of your due date? Like what do you do? When do you buy your
Yeah.
ingredients? How do you time yourself? Because you have a
Right.
natural knack of how to time yourself down to a science that I would love to mimic. I would love to have, okay, I want to sit at your feet and go, okay, this is number one. She did number one. Okay, number two. I've been getting better because yeah, I want to sit at your feet and write down the numbers and how you do things. So I'm going to let you take it away and you tell us how you plan for an event to make sure that your product and your sweet treats get there on time and you're ready to present them to the audience or to the crowd.
Wow. So first of all, it's something that I actually never thought about until you brought it to my attention. So because I'm always pretty much alone when I'm doing it, but when I get an order, if it's a large order, typically people will contact me 2 to 3 weeks, right? They'll contact me. So when I initially get a order like that, I'll just say like this. So there's a guy that I work with closely, right? And he always uses me. I try and find out what is the event. And I try and jump into the brain. And I don't know people, but I try and look at the venue. I try and figure out where it's going to be. And I try and imagine. And I know this is hard. And I know it might be even a little weird. And I might be doing a little bit much. But this is what I do. And I try and imagine what the customer would like, right? If I think it's good, they may not think it's good. So I try and do, I know 3 desserts because that I feel like that gives something that everyone could try. So one of the first things I do is that. Yeah. I do say a prayer. Let's be for real. I say a prayer. So when I begin to think about what I'm doing, I write down a menu.
Mm-hmm.
So my menu helps me figure out exactly where I need to go, down to what are my ingredients. I go through my kitchen and I look to see what do I have on hand, right? So typically, what do we always have? We're bakers, we're treat makers. We have sugar, we have flour, we have cake flour, we have salt, we have baking soda. So those are usually the staples that are already in house. So I automatically write those things down. Like if I'm doing a chocolate cake, I know I have salt, baking soda, flour, cocoa powder. I know that I have those things. Now, what do I need? Well, I need eggs, I need butter, and I literally write those things down. And I'll tell myself, what store can I get it from? And out on the side, I said, well, I can get my eggs from Kroger. I can get my butter from Kroger. Oh, but I can get that, powdered sugar from Aldi. And I will write that down, because that helps me navigate what I'm doing. After I do that, and I do that for every dessert, after I do that, I will even take a dish. Say, for instance, I'm making a pie. I will take my pie dish and I will put my apples, my stick of butter, my cinnamon, my nutmeg, whatever I'm using, and I put it in one container and I will set it aside and I do my checklist and say, do I have this? Do I have this? Do I have that? And then I know that's done. The night before, I make sure I sit out my butter and my eggs. I sit it out. It has to be room temperature. I know some people are funny about that, but I've never had an issue, with that. What else do I do?
But you keep your place
I have my
chilled
little,
anyway. No, please go ahead.
yes, my house is pretty cool. Like right now, I have socks on my feet and my hands are chill.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm making something like cupcakes, I make sure that I have all my piping tips. I make sure I fill my bag and I'll drop the piping tip down inside my bag and I'll sit it aside. Like I have to be prepared like that. And my brain is constantly going. Now, once I have baked everything is ready, it's like a mad dash. If I have to be somewhere at 2 o'clock, I tell myself all these items have to be baked, decorated, packed up. I need to be done by 12. If I need to be there at 2, my goal is to be done, completed at noon. That way I can get dressed, I can put my makeup on, and I can get to the venue. Okay? It's not leave at 1:30 to get to the venue. Who's doing that? You're going to be rushed. You're going to forget something, and you're going to be looking like you're rushing. You're going to be sweating, and you're not going to be cute. And you're going to be running in when all the other guests are there. That's not professional. It doesn't look right, and you don't feel good, right? So to keep the stress off of yourself, allow time, space it out. The other thing is having a team. Have someone who can carry things to your car for you, whether it's something that can be put in your car at night, the night before. What can go in your car the night before? If it's really cold outside, like our winters are freezing cold, right? So what can go in your car? Can your cupcakes go in your car overnight? They probably can. It's cold. It's 20 degrees outside. You can probably do that. That takes one thing off of you, right? So having someone to help you set up. How are you going to do your table? What is your table? What do you want your table to look like? Who's going to fill up the candle? If you have candles, that you put floating candles in, when you get to the venue, where is the sink? Do you have your lighter? Like, you have to literally almost write everything down. And that's what I do. I write it down. And a team is important, right? Even if you have a team and you say, I just need you to do a simple swirl on this cupcake and stick this topper just like this. Now I need you to close it and I need you to sit it right here. That is so much help, But typically I'm alone, so I have to space things out. So time management, having your ingredients on hand, going to the store days ahead of time. Don't go the day that you need it. Do not do that. Try your best not to do it. We're not perfect, so we do forget, okay? Just try not to do it. Going through your home, going through your kitchen, and making sure you have everything that you need on hand. Those things are very important. Buying extra ingredients. A lot of people buy in bulk. Have those things available. Some things you can't buy in bulk, but do the best that you can, with your customer base. Don't buy a whole bunch of stuff and you don't have a lot of customers, then it goes bad. It's no good, and then it's a waste. So those are some of the things that I do to help me get to my venue. I hope that kind of
That is excellent. No. Thank you. And I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of people. Thank you for sharing that information. One thing I wanted to also ask you is, how do you get dressed? Do you have a uniform that you have? Do you put in the distance of how far to get there, or to your venue?
Yes. So I don't have a uniform. My uniform is cute. Okay. As long as I look nice.
Okay.
As long as I look nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my perfume on, my hair is done, I have my makeup on. I have shoes on so that I can walk around because I am working. But I still have to look nice, So as long as that's my uniform. I don't have a pair of black pants and a white shirt that I wear to every event. I don't have that. Yes, I think about where the venue is. And like I said, I give myself, a half an hour, 45 minutes to get to where I need to be. Usually when you're going to a venue, they want you there about an hour early. So you need to be hustling on out the door to get to where you need, because you have to set up. You have to now pack your car, get there, unpack your car, and make it pretty. Okay? Then you can sit down or stand, introduce yourself, and tell people what you have because people want to know. Once
Fine.
I bake, I'm done. And it was something that I had to learn, that I had to be present, and that I had to socialize and talk to people about my product, about what it is. And they really want to know. And I'm like, eat it. What are you asking me a whole bunch of questions for? Eat it.
So you've
And
learned
so
to
it was
have
something that
something yeah, you've learned to have something prepared as far as who you are, what you did, how you got there, and all that other kind of stuff. And that's a good
I
point
did.
too.
I did.
That we all, not everyone is as open and free to share who they are and what they do. Just here's the product. Now get on your way. Give me your money and get on your way, you know.
Yes.
But
And
people
it's
are
so funny. Yeah.
mhm.
It's so funny. I've been at events where people will hang around your table. And I mean, I've probably done it when I've been at events. I'm like, wow, this is really good, or this is very pretty. And so you kind of hang out, and it's like, I don't really know what to say. So, yeah, have your social skills ready. You have to be, because people don't want to come to you if you're mean, if you're nasty, if you're rude, if you have this disposition where you are telling people to back off. If you have a more inviting personality, people will keep coming. They will take your business card, they will keep it, and they will say, oh, you know what? I remember I went, X, Y, and Z. This girl was good. This man was good, or whatever. So that's something else. Just remember, be kind.
Be kind, be prepared.
I think
And something else that you always say, and hold on for 1 second, Taylor. One thing you always say is make room for mistakes.
Oh, always, always make room for error. That and that goes right with buying extra ingredients. That's something that I do. Make room for error because, like I said before, we are human. We are not perfect. You know, I don't like people in the kitchen with me. I don't like people necessarily talking to me. If I need to talk on the phone, let me get my cake in the oven and set my timer. Hold on for a minute. Let me call you back. Because you'll be amazed how people can divert your attention. They don't mean to, and you will freaking screw up. Okay? You will put a cake in the oven without sugar. Playing around with people. Okay? So make sure your environment is so important. If somebody has an attitude in the house, don't cook, don't bake, don't do your treats. If you don't feel good, if you're tired, don't cook, don't bake, don't do your treats. Wait until you feel better because your energy is what you're putting into your product. Okay? And so you need to make sure that you're feeling good and you're happy because your product will reflect that. Don't rush it. Don't rush your product because visually people can see that. They can say, she didn't care about that. Look at it. Look at it. She could have did better than that. Trust me. Haven't you ever looked at something and said, wow, wonder what they were doing? So it's important. So always make room for error. If that piece of cake didn't turn out right, don't use it. If you only needed 12 cupcakes, make 16. I guarantee you it'll save your life. Okay? That's my tidbit.
Right. Taylor, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's definitely some great points that you brought up, and one of the most important is to remember that we are salespeople if we have a business. I just feel like a lot of people neglect that part. just the fact that we do have to have other common skills. Just because we know how to create a product doesn't mean that we have learned all the parts of business, especially being like the
Right.
operators and wearing so many hats. And so that was a great point that you brought up, that we are more than just, the treat makers. You have, especially in a small business, until you are able to have that team, you do have to do everything on your own. And so leaving the space for error, and just being competent about what's going on around you, especially at different events and things like that, are some very great points that you made.
Thank you. And it's so true. That leaving room for error and making sure that how you are representing yourself and your business, and even the venue that you're at, you are representing them because they more than likely allowed you to come, or they asked you to come, or something. And if you have such a negative disposition about yourself, how about you probably won't be invited back, you know? Or people will be like, don't go over there. She was so mean and nasty to me, you know? So, yeah, portraying yourself in a positive way is so important. It's very important. So,
My bishop said, present yourself friendly. That's what he said. Present yourself friendly.
yeah, right, right. I agree with your bishop. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
Taylor, you have any more questions or comments?
No, I think you brought up a lot of great points. I really appreciate you for coming on and sharing all that you know with us. I laughed when you said, don't show up late, because as you pointed out so elegantly, I am done once I baked everything. And I think about a festival that we do, I do yearly, like in the fall, and it's like one of the biggest things that I do all year. And so I'm just like, this year or last year I made it easier on myself, and I dropped off the treats, and then I left for a little while. My mom and my sister helped me sell them, and I really appreciate them for that, because I did stay up for like 24 hours.
You
So
do.
having a team and having people to help you is definitely a big thing, because like it's always amazing once you like show up and have everything out, and people are like, oh my gosh, you did all this, and you're like, yes, I'm tired
I
now.
did. You
Ready to
almost want to say,
fall
here,
over.
you can have it. Sometimes you
Right.
can have it. I don't care.
They'd be
Eat
like,
it.
what's the price?
I
I'd
don't
be like,
care. I'm not taking it home.
right, what's the price? Don't remember. Don't
Yeah.
call me for the
I don't know.
next.
You can have it. Reach in your pocket and tell me what you want. Tell me what you got in your pocket. I don't know.
Yeah, having those little small details
Yeah.
definitely set up. You can make your menu up weeks or months ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I think having
And
those small things really do matter.
yeah, it does. And there's still so much that I have to learn. There is so, like, about business. You ladies do such a great job, and all your tidbits and information and knowledge that you all give weekly is amazing. There's so much that I still need to learn, so you guys are jewels. You do a wonderful job.
I
Well,
read a
this,
book that Tamala recommended, The E-Myth. I end up reading it over the last couple of weeks. So thank you for recommending that book, Tamala. And it talked about it being like three different parts to an entrepreneur. And some people want to just bake and they don't want to do the business. And some people want to do the business and they don't have any artistry or creativity.
Yeah.
And so it's like you need all three of these parts to make up a complete like entrepreneur. But when you're like baking and you're like, oh, that's cute, you should turn that into a business. And then you're like, now I got to do bookkeeping and accounting and record keeping, and prices got to
Yeah.
match and make a profit. And you're like, it's
Right.
a
Because
lot.
even with me, I was telling you all and your audience that I write things down. But honestly, I
Mhm.
should use an Excel spreadsheet or something that helps me keep, record of my ingredients. What do I need? What do I have on hand? Instead of writing everything down. So there's still things that I am still learning also and that I need to do. So, we're all a work in progress, no one has everything perfect. So, extending grace to yourself and to others, helps. So
Very good. Very good. Very good. Pamela.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity right now to stop and end our interview with Ms. Wright and Dionne Carol Bakes. And tell us again your handle, please, and where someone can reach out and find you.
So I'm on Facebook, and it is Dionne Carol Bakes.
And can you spell that for the audience, your name?
Sure, it is D as in daytime, IONNECAROLBAKES.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so very much, Dionne, for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you're really busy and it's Mother's Day weekend, so I'm pretty sure everybody is kind of grabbing at any kind of times that they can grasp. I want to say thank you again. You're welcome back anytime, and it'll be our pleasure to have you on our show again. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, ladies. Yay.